Hi everyone, this is Trish Kendall, your host for the Choose and Become interview series. People around the world ask me to share more of my journey to enduring success, more stories, more of my lessons, more of my experiences. There's only so much I can share during an inspirational speech or while facilitating a workshop or even through blogs. So here you go. In these Trish Kendall Speaks episodes, I give you short, impromptu, candid, raw me. Come along with me as I continue my journey to enduring success. And it's Trish Kendall with the Trish Kendall Speaks episode. My therapist, Dr. Anne-Marie Madigan, passed away a week ago. And I had not been actively seeing Dr. Madigan for a number of years, but thank goodness, at least at a minimum, we were in text communication very recently and she didn't share with me that she was struggling with cancer, that she was fighting cancer, a rare form of cancer. And in fact, now I know when we were texting, I think she was probably in home hospice. She was receiving hospice care. And it breaks my heart to think about her just not being here, obviously, but I think about her. She was 69 years old. I think about her children, her husband, her patients, her friends, her loved ones, her dogs. She was always walking her dogs, but she was so important to me and in my journey, and so important to, I would say, me and Joe, and important to me and Lily and Sam, and especially me and Lily. And so Dr. Madigan, this was, oh my gosh, I'm going to think about this for a second. Lily was 7. Now Lily's turning 14. So 7 years ago, we had lived in Canton for a couple of years. Lily was going to the Montessori school. There were just some things going on that I was a little worried about Lily. And honestly, oh my gosh, if Lily sees this, she'll be like, Mom. But there were, how do I explain it? The way that Lily was managing some of the friendship turmoil worried me. She would hold her feelings in and then lash out, not necessarily lash out at the friend, but lash out at other people. Or sometimes she would, lash out at a friend. But she was just so full of desire to be loved. Like she just wanted to be loved, and she just wanted to love, and she wanted to feel like she was a part of a tribe and a group and a friendship. And she's always been that way. But so there were things going on that I was like, oh, I should probably, I don't know, maybe get Lily somebody to, and I know she was 7, but somebody just to talk with, to think out loud with. And I've always been, actually, I haven't always been a proponent of therapy. In fact, when I was 20 and I went to go live with my sister, part of the two-way agreement with my sister is that I would see a therapist that she set up. And I went very begrudgingly, did not want to do it. So I didn't always embrace therapy. So let's park that for a second. But at this point in my journey, I totally embraced therapy. I had seen a few therapists throughout the decades, and I very, very much believe in the work. So I found Dr. Madigan through a friend, actually, who's still one of my closest friends today, Carolyn. She knew somebody that saw Dr. Madigan, and so she told me about her. So I got an appointment with Anne-Marie, Dr. Madigan, and went to go see her. And her office is in a loft above her home. And you walk in and the couches are super comfortable, and her dog, she's got labs. She had a black lab, and I want to say a golden lab if I remember, but I remember her black lab, and they would just be laying there. And I always loved that So in my first session with Dr. Madigan, I was talking about Lily and what my concerns were. And she was listening to me, as you can imagine. She was asking prompting questions, and Dr. Madigan was very direct too. So she would ask me questions to keep me talking, but she was the type throughout the 5 or so years that I really worked with her. She was like, she'd just be super direct. But so she was listening to me, and she asked me some pointed and direct questions about Joe and I, and then his family background, my family background. And at this point in my life, and this was 7 years ago, I had no qualms with saying, especially to a therapist, listen, I was sexually abused by my dad for 7 years. My mom had a nervous breakdown when I was 8. She was hospitalized. She was on medication. My sister basically raised me. I became a drug. Like, I just kind of went boom, 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 boom. Very matter of fact, because this session was not for me or about me, but I was talking with Dr. Madigan for Lily. I'm thinking about this for Lily. And so, da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. These are the things, very matter of fact. But, and then with that also, Joe and I are so happily married. Here's how we met. I love his family. I love his parents. I love his sister. We moved to Canton. I love my neighbors. This is a great community, all the things. And at that first session, Dr. Van was like, good, great, important. And then she leaned in and she went, it sounds to me that, now I'm paraphrasing because it's been so many years, but this is what has stuck in my mind. It seems to me that Lily is a very normal 7-year-old little girl going through very normal 7-year-old little girl social things. But you, on the other hand, I will never forget, like, when she transitioned it to me, I was like, what do you mean me? Like, I've done the work. I've put in the work. I'm happily married. I'm a mom. I'm healthy. I work out. I have an amazing career. I make money. Like, what do you mean me? I didn't say that to her, but that's what I was thinking. And she said, you, on the other hand, don't know what normal is. And I think she continued on in the spirit of, you've created what you believe to be a normal family for your children, for your husband, for you within the community, but you yourself have never experienced normal. And so then she started asking me more questions about my childhood sexual abuse. And what became very apparent very quickly is that Lily was 7, almost 8. And the abuse that I experienced went on for a long time. It went on for 7 years, but my memories strongly direct me to events and situations when I was 7 and 8 years old. And I don't know that I'm sure I had never verbalized that to anyone. But I didn't even have to verbalize it to Dr. Madigan, because she just knew in her, Dr. Madigan expertise way, things that were going on. And here I am, a mom, raising this little girl, this 7-year-old little girl who's as normal as can be, in this amazing family with this amazing life, and going to this amazing school and have these amazing friends when they're not being mean and picking on her. And any kind of turmoil from Lily or lashing out or conflict or anger, like, really jolted me. And that didn't all come out in the first session. The first session ended with, I think you, Trish, could use some work on what normal what normal is for Lily and for Sam, what normal is, and so just some tools in your parenting toolbox so that you can, in a very appropriate way, manage and help guide them through their normal childhood. But that's going to require us to go deep and work hard first on yours. So I ended up being with Dr. Madigan for a number of years, and pretty intensely the first few years. I maybe saw her twice a week, and and the interesting thing is that hold on, I'm gonna do. I know I'm in the middle of this, but I'm gonna stop it just for a moment.